That was hands down my favourite Conjuring sequel in the Conjuring universe. Hey everyone, welcome back to Craig's Horror. So today I am diving straight into my thoughts on The Conjuring Last Rites, the fourth and supposedly final chapter in the main Conjuring series. I finally got to see it today, and yes, I know, I am very late to the party on this one, but honestly, I was absolutely buzzing after the end credits had rolled. I thought it was brilliant, genuinely creepy, atmospheric, and surprisingly emotional in some places, but as always, I've got a few things to say about what really worked and what didn't land quite as well. So, The Conjuring Last Rites is set mainly in the mid-1980s, and of course, we've got Ed and Lorraine Warren, once again played perfectly by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. Now, they are trying to live a quieter life after years and years of battling demons and possessions. Ed, he is struggling with a heart condition, and then you've got Lorraine who, her sensitivity to the supernatural has taken a bit of a toll on her. And even their daughter Judy is starting to show signs that she has inherited her mother's gifts. But of course, peace doesn't last very long. They end up getting drawn into a new haunting involving a family in Pennsylvania who have unknowingly brought in a cursed mirror into their home, and that very same mirror has ties back to one of the Warrens' earliest cases. Straight away, I just loved how this film opened. I mean, the very first few minutes throw us back to the 1960s, showing the Warrens tackling a previous haunting linked to that mirror. And it immediately sets this eerie tone. I mean, there's something about the way the camera just lingers on the reflections, the creak of the floorboards and the flicker of the candlelight. It just oozes that old school haunted house horror energy that made the very first two Conjuring movies so good. And you can tell that, the director, Michael Chaves, wanted to bring back the franchise to its roots after the slightly more experimental direction of The Devil Made Me Do It. The performances are what truly carry this movie. I mean, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, once again, they just prove why these characters are so beloved. There is such a warmth and realism between them. They actually feel like an actual couple, aged by years of fighting evil but still deeply in love. This film really leans into that. I mean, you feel the strain of Ed's heart problems that's putting on him, and the emotional exhaustion of Lorraine that she is carrying, every time she steps into another dark haunted house. Some of their quieter scenes together hit me harder than I expected. It's not just about fighting demons anymore, it's about what a lifetime of that does to a marriage, what it does to their faith and to their family. It's a surprisingly personal story, especially with Judy now caught in the middle of it all. In fact, I don't think I have ever felt so involved with two horror characters as much as I have been with Patrick and Vera's characters, and I also just absolutely love how Judy, the daughter, gets a main character role in this entry. They all do a fantastic job. I mean, even Judy's boyfriend Tony, who is played by the gorgeous Ben Hardy, he is also a brilliant addition to the cast. So let's talk about the scares, because this film does deliver on that. There are some genuinely creepy sequences that reminded me of the pure tension from the first Conjuring, especially some of the more build-up moments early on in the movie, with the telephone wire being grabbed by something in the cupboard in the dark, and there is this really creepy basement scene early on that really had me creeped out. There's one scene involving this horrible mirror that absolutely made me jump out of my skin. There were so many simple but so effective moments, and some of them, they did have jump scares and some of them didn't, but they just, every single one of them was quite scary. And I mean, even with some of the jump scares in this film, it did not feel forced in any shape or form, it all felt organic. This film just has that kind of slow, suspenseful build-up moments that really does pay off without relying heavily on those cheap jump scares. I mean, the sound design in this film is sharp, the lighting is gorgeous in that gloomy, candlelit, conjuring way, and there's this oppressive atmosphere throughout that it really doesn't go unnoticed. I just love it. I love when horror doesn't need to be loud to be scary, and I feel that this entry nails that balance several times. However, it is not a perfect film. It's very rare for a film to be perfect, let's be honest, but there are a few moments where the pacing does dip a little bit, especially in the second act. I mean, the story tries to juggle quite a few threads. You've got the Warrens' personal struggles, you've got Judy's psychic connection, you've got the Smurl family's haunting going on, and the demonic entity that's tied to that creepy mirror. And at times, it does feel like too much is happening at once. But saying that, this is a very, very long horror movie. It's well over 2 hours long, and not once did I feel bored. Another small issue for me was that while the scares are very well done, we've definitely seen some of these tricks before. I mean, the mirror is very creepy, but it's also quite familiar if you've watched a lot of haunted object movies. I mean, there are definitely echoes of Oculus and Annabelle Comes Home in this entry, and I would have liked maybe one or two more truly fresh ideas. Something that just pushed the boundaries a little bit. But even so, the film's execution is so polished that I didn't really mind. It's more about atmosphere and emotional payoff than reinventing the genre. I think the only moment that did really make me laugh, I suppose, and it's not supposed to be funny, was when this freaky old lady demon popped up 2, maybe 3 times in the movie. If they were trying to make this particular ghost or demon scary, then they absolutely failed. It was just full of CGI, the face, and yeah, this was the only one demon person that I thought was just a bit shit. Saying that, we did have this demonic neighbor husband person with an axe in the basement. He was pretty cool, and he was very, very creepy. He had a very creepy laugh. One thing I have to give a massive credit for is how the movie treats this, the Warren story as a farewell. You can really feel that this is meant to be their last massive case, and it's handled with genuine respect. There's a scene near the end that I won't spoil for you, but it perfectly sums up everything that this series has been about faith, about love, and about confronting the darkness with compassion. It's actually quite moving, and I think long-time fans are gonna really appreciate how heartfelt that this movie feels. I mean, the music swells, the visuals go full gothic, and it's both scary and beautiful at the same time. I honestly found myself emotional watching the credits roll. It really does feel like the end of an era. So my overall thoughts on, The Conjuring Last Rites, I feel that it is a very strong, satisfying conclusion to the Warrens' story. It's got that classic haunted house tension, solid performances, a real emotional core, and enough scares to make you jump without going overboard. It's not quite as terrifying or groundbreaking as the first movie, but that film is never going to be beaten, but it is a massive improvement over The Devil Made Me Do It. I mean, the direction is confident, the cinematography is stunning, and the tone hits that perfect mix of faith and fear that delivers in the Conjuring universe. I really feel that this entry was just so intense from start to finish, with a lot of stakes at play. And even though I do love The Conjuring 2, the Enfield Poltergeist, I actually think I preferred this one, Last Rites, over that one. Maybe it's because I've seen so many documentaries about the Enfield Poltergeist, I'm not sure. But I didn't really know anything about this particular case in The Last Rites, so maybe that's why I preferred this one. But I do feel that The Last Rites has a lot less cheesy moments than The Conjuring 2. I mean, wasn't it The Conjuring 2 where Ed grabs a guitar and has a whole scene of him singing a song? Yeah, Nope, you don't get any of that in The Last Rites. So for me to give this film an honest rating, then I'm going to give this film a very solid 8.4 out of 10. The only things holding it back are a few pacing issues and the occasional over-familiarity. But overall, it's a great entry and a very, very fitting, farewell final. It reminded me of why I fell in love with this series in the first place, not just for the scares, but for the heartfelt and the humanity behind the horror. And it's not often that a horror franchise ends on a high like this. It really is rare for the final entry in any of the horror movies to be this good, so kudos to them. I am just putting it out there now, if they were to continue the Conjuring movies in any shape or form, and I'm not talking about a spin-off, I am talking about The Conjuring, I would absolutely love it if Judy and her partner Tony continued their parents' legacy. Now, I know the Conjuring movies are all based on true stories, but I would be totally cool for any future stories to go rogue and to be fiction. I'm here for it. So yeah, that is my review of The Conjuring, The Last Rites. Now, I would love to know what you guys thought of this movie. Did it scare you? Come on, be honest, guys. Do you think it was a good ending for the Warrens? Let me know. Drop all of your thoughts down in that comments box below. And also, guys, if you enjoyed this review today, then don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my horror channel. And hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Right then, guys, well, that is a wrap. Thank you all for stopping by and watching today. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you all in my next video.
The